Welcome back to Legacy Outdoors. Today we'll be identifying buckthorn and showing you how to remove and stump treat so that it doesn't come back. The reason we go around our property, find and remove buckthorn is because it is an invasive species. It's not native to our area or this area at all. And what it ends up doing is it outcompetes all the native plants and takes up all the habitat that should be made up of all kinds of other native species, like whether it's dogwoods or raspberry bushes, oak trees, everything like that. And it'll come in, take over an entire area and outcompete it. It basically runs wild. So now it's up to us to cut it, treat it, and get it out of here. A few things that we're going to be using today. One is our great Milwaukee chainsaw. That's where we're going to be taking everything down. And then we're going to be using some chemical to treat the stumps. One of the references that we like to use is the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, their website. They have a lot of great information on identifying invasive species like buckthorn, and they also give recommendations on chemicals to use. What we're going to be using today is highly concentrated glyphosate, and then I also like to put in some blue dye so that you can specifically see where you're spraying and treating. Behind me here is our sacrificial buckthorn for the video. One of the common traits that you'll find with these plants as they're growing is there'll be multiple stems coming up out of one common root, and that's where you can see here there's a whole bunch of stems. And as the buckthorns get bigger and more mature, you'll see around the base the bark looks almost crackly or broken up, and it'll get, as this one's fairly young, but as it gets older it'll start to get dark and black around the base. As it comes up, you'll see there's a lot of the thorny spikes, and on the actual individual leaves you'll see a little jagged edge. So you can see that the edge of all the leaves are jagged with a pointed tip. You'll see on the main stem, the leaves branch off the main stem and they come off on either side at the same level instead of being alternating. And then at the tip, a lot of times you'll see a little spike that comes out. And on a lot of these as well, as they mature, it just depends what time of the season it is, but it almost looks like a little buck hoof. And that's part of the naming, the buckthorn. There'll be a hoof-like spot on the branch towards the end of the branch with a little spike coming out. So that's our plant ID. Pretty easy to identify. You can also use, like we've looked at in our other videos, the plant ID app. We'll put in a couple screenshots from that as well, identifying the plant. That's what we're looking for. Another thing that you'll notice is as you start cutting into the bark, it kind of has an orange color to it, whereas a lot of the other trees will be more closer to white. But yeah, you'll notice that the wood, as you get inside the bark, it has an orange tint to it. So the next thing that we'll do is once we find the buckthorn, identify it, make sure it is what we want to cut, then we'll come in with our chainsaw, cut it off, and stump treat. So we'll do that now. We found our buckthorn, cut it off, treated it, and now our path's nice and clear, which is great. Okay. We're going to go show you a couple other ones that we cut off about a month ago that we didn't stump treat, so you can see what happens if you don't use chemical. So that's all it takes. We cut off the tree, treat it with chemical, and it should never come back. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see some more content like this.